Hello, and welcome back to Coffee, Cannabis, and Consciousness, erroneously known as the C3 Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Reno. Alongside me is my co-host, Ian Thompson. How you doing today, Ian?
Better than ever. I don't think I've ever been better.
Awesome, man. Great to have you back.
Good to be back.
Yeah, great to be back behind this microphone. Jamming out to one of my favorite beat artists, this guy Bloom. Check him out on YouTube, guys. Bloom Beats. Today we got a nice little lineup for you. We got some Harmony Bay coffee roasters. They're out of North Andover, Massachusetts. Like always, we keep it local, testing out their coconut cream. So actually the first time we've really done a flavored coffee on the podcast. So we'll see how that goes. And what do we got for the bud today, Ian?
Yeah, so we're going to smoke some White Fire OG, courtesy of Theory Wellness. So, yeah.
Was that White Fire?
Yeah, White Fire OG.
Nice. I like how they put like OG at the end of basically anything nowadays. And
yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Well, it's a hybrid, so I think it's like strain that derives from like OG Kush or like one of the
right.
OGs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I like how now it's like a buzzword. Like,
Right.
Like how like sourdough bread used to be one for breakfast.
Right.
At least for me. Like if they were like, oh, do you want sourdough? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love some sourdough toast.
It's funny you said that. My wife bought a loaf of sourdough bread, and I've been making toast with that for like the last like week.
It's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, especially in the toaster. I feel like when you make it as toast.
Oh yeah,
it's just like it's got the perfect combination of like fluffy and crunchy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Shout out sourdough.
Yeah, sourdough's fire.
But so and today for the topic of consciousness, guys, we're actually we're going to touch on a few things because it's been a while since we've gotten together, and we do plan on getting back to more
consistency.
Yeah, more centralized topics. I think for our consciousness, But as of today, we'll talk about I recently started my own business, and I know Ian, you've been really investing a lot of your time in your artwork, which is something that might not have been an outlet for you before. And then for all you degenerates out there, we'll do a little NFT talk at the end. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Is this my water?
That is your water.
All
yep.
Right. Thank you.
We do need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I like that. Sometimes coffee just can dry you out a little bit, so it's especially with the weed too. Usually by the time we get to done smoking, I'm like, I feel like SpongeBob in the episode where him and Patrick are in Sandy's terrarium.
I don't need it.
Water!
that episode is actually about sex, right?
Really?
It's about abstaining from sex. In my
it probably is.
In my adult estimation, I think that's what the episode's actually about. But
interesting. I'll have to give it a second look.
That's up for debate.
I was gonna say it's probably been about 20 years since I've seen that episode, so yeah, probably could use a rewatch for me. But that's the thing about SpongeBob in general is like there is a lot of adult humor like sprinkled into that show.
Oh, the best cartoons have that.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. It's what makes it easier for parents to sit down and watch them with their kids.
Yeah, and I think it subconsciously teaches kids an advanced sense of humor,
Right, right.
Anyway, let's get to the coffee, man, because I really want to try this out. It smells great.
Oh, this is one of the best smelling coffees we've had on the show. I can't wait to try it. Hey, cheers.
Cheers, man. Yeah, so this is Harmony Bay Coffee Roasters out of North Andover, and this is their coconut cream.
Ooh, that is really good. Definitely could taste the coconut and smell it too.
Oh man, the aroma really it's almost more powerful than the sip.
Yeah, no, it's a strong smell and it smells good. Yeah. It smells sweet. Coconut cream. It smells like, with coconut obviously it's fruity.
I can tell off the initial taste that it's definitely a light roast. And I haven't really looked at it.
It's not very acidic at all.
Yeah, I haven't looked much up on this. I just grabbed it because it was local. But definitely feels like a light roast. And the flavor really ties it in at the end. That coconut really is a nice little goodbye to the sip.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm enjoying it. It's Definitely was a much needed pick me up.
Oh yeah, so drinkable too. Black. Oh my gosh, like
I'm
perfect.
A
coffee and cream guy, and I actually would drink this black. Like, so that coconut cream, that smoothness, it kind of actually it drowns out the bitterness. So it's a good little combo.
I've been drinking black coffee pretty exclusively now for a while, and this this is one of the best tasting coffees. I mean, as it tastes, like there's sugar in it. You know what I mean? It tastes as low, and with the coconut cream, it has like a cream texture kind of. It's very unique coffee. I think to like really. I'm gonna look at the bag real quick because it's pretty unique to like. I think anything we've tried on the show really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's our first flavored coffee, and you know, I was hesitant to go for the coconut cream. I almost went basic and went like hazelnut as far as flavored coffee.
Ooh, I like that.
Because coconut, I mean, I feel like it's notoriously
it gets a bad rep.
The most inconsistent flavor, right? Like it's either phenomenal or it's just like out of place.
Well, see, for me, I always like the flavor for coconut. It's just like the texture. Like if I won't eat a fucking like Almond Joy or a Mounds bar because of like. Not because of the taste.
Like the shredded coconut texture.
And just like, it's kind of like a dry, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a texture thing for me. Like, so like, if it's something like just pure coconut flavor, I'm about it.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't like coconut milk fucking slaps.
See, I don't fuck with coconut milk.
Slaps.
I do not. I'm an oat milk guy. But like, coconut milk and like coconut water, like.
Coconut water. I think it can be overbearing, but that's the thing is, here, I'll say this. I can drink it in, like, super moderation.
Right. But coconut rum, I'm a fan of.
Oh,
coconut rum, I'll fuck up some Bombay any day.
Facts.
And I'm not even a big drinker, but, like.
Nah, it is. It's usually pretty easy to drink. Yeah. But, yeah, right on. This is good.
Yeah, it's great. So diving into their website a little bit, first thing comes up. As soon as I enter their website at harmonybaycoffee.com, Harmony Bay Donut CBD infused K-Cups now available.
So we might have to try a CBD infused coffee.
Hell yeah. See, that's one. That's definitely, we got to get on that.
Yeah.
Or a weed infused beer. We could do that one day too. I don't know if that's a thing.
Fuck it. I think it is. Probably.
So they're advertising that right away, right out the rip, which, we like that here.
Yeah, we're about it. But I think that's like, like as much as we're about it too, that's kind of just like the trendy thing right now. Is like, let's put CBD in as much shit as possible, and people eat it.
Again, a buzzword.
It's It's one of those things.
Like people that have no business putting CBD on it, are putting CBD on their products. Now, I'm not saying this about the Harmony Bay here, but you know what I mean? It's like, dude, no, like you go to Petco, you could get fucking CBD infused hamster. Like,
yeah,
this shit is crazy.
Yeah,
dude. They'll put it on anything.
It is wild.
Let me I'll give them a little shine here. I wanna read off a little bit of their synopsis for our local roasters here. So, Harmony Bay Coffee is manufactured by Comfort Foods, located in North Andover, Massachusetts. Founded in 1992 on a simple principle: provide people with the same quality coffee available in the whole bean, but in a more convenient packaging and form. We realized that many people preferred the superior taste of 100% Arabica beans, but did not like the inconvenience of grinding the beans. The truth is, whether coffee is purchased from a bin, a bag, or a can, it has nothing to do with the quality of the product. At Comfort Foods, we start with only 100% Arabica, the best quality, richest coffee you can buy. We roast the coffee with one small batch at a time and then package it in an attractive, distinctive shape steel containers with easy open lids. Never before has a great cup of gourmet coffee been so convenient and user-friendly. Oh, okay. So that's interesting that their kind of pitch or their marketing is like, hey, we're more convenient in the way we deliver our coffee to you. And honestly, I mean, I don't know either if like what they said here, if it's purchased from a bin, a bag, a can, has nothing to do with the quality of the product. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm not an expert enough to give you that opinion on whether it's like that's true. I think that just might be. That kind of sounds like they're talking like offhand, like not offhand, but like it seems just like a little anecdotal.
It's a little out of pocket.
Yeah, it's a little. It's a little out of pocket. Yeah. I think. Even if they're wrong, I think that like I agree with like the point they're trying to make. Because I know I get what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, they're trying to say, like, hey, like, yeah, this guy over here who's got all these
fancy
gourmet beans,
right,
you know,
right.
like that he has in a sack that he got from fucking Guatemala,
right,
is the same as if we take those beans, we grind them up for you, and then put them in a nicer bag.
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
That's what they're trying to say, I think.
Right, and that's kind of like the train of thought I was in on that.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like, you know, their website's okay. It does kind of leave a little bit to be desired, but hey, it's a coffee website. You know, not much going on. They got 11-ounce bags, 12-ounce cans, and 40-ounce bags, single-serve cups. So you can get everything you need, you know, from them for your coffee needs. I will say I am a fan of this cup of coffee.
It's very good.
It is very good and very easy to drink. Tasty, sweet. If you're not even a big-time coffee drinker, I mean, this almost tastes like tea with honey with like a coffee flavoring.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is solid. So I got this at Big Y, so you guys can grab it there. I'm sure it's at other retailers, but I got it at Big Y. And yeah, Harmony Bay out of North Andover. So
shout out,
yes.
Harmony Bay. Thank you for this delicious coffee. My coffee addiction has been growing to whole new levels of just ridiculousness. I can feel myself now on my. It never used to happen before, but I can feel myself on like my days off, being like, man, something's like missing from my life. And then, you know, I'll go to like E Street Coffee Co. now on like a Saturday morning and get my coffee, and I like never used to like do that.
I actually haven't been there yet. So is it their own coffee? Is it just like a coffee shop?
Yeah. So as from what I can tell, as far as when I've been there, it's just like they had like some coffee from Red Barn.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
So like I don't think they're like, at least I didn't see any of their own coffee. They might have their own.
Yeah.
But they definitely like use other roasters' coffees to like make their coffee.
Yeah, man. I think I got the taste of coffee down, and I think I'm ready to light up that White Fire.
Sample some White Fire OG.
Why the fuck's it got to be White Fire, bro?
I don't know. I didn't name it, but I'll tell you, I'm buzzing from this coffee though. It's good.
Yeah, that's always a good sign too. I mean, especially if you're going heavy on the coffee lately, you know, and you're catching a buzz, you're like, oh, okay, it must be decent.
Sometimes I'm more fucked up after drinking a cup of coffee than I am from smoking a fucking joint.
Yo,
not even gonna lie, my tolerance for weed is just so much higher, and I ain't like. It seems ridiculous, but
I know that feeling too when you're wired and it's just like, yo, like I need a joint to fucking chill right
level.
now.
Well, like it's like, no, seriously, because like there's times I'm like, given in the right state, I'll drink like I won't even finish a cup of coffee because I can't, because I'm just fucking flying from all the caffeine. I'm like 3/4 halfway through a coffee and I'll just throw it away because I'm like I can't even drink anymore. I
can't not do that, and that's another one of my issues. Is like I've been kind of suffering from like the like GaryVee value disease, where it's like, oh, I can't throw away this coffee because then I'm throwing away this much money.
GaryVee is a funny motherfucker.
It's the value. I can't get rid of the value. I have to finish the coffee, even if I heat it up later. Like,
you know what I think is hilarious, but like I kind of think it's fucked up at the same time. And like I know why he's doing it, but like somebody like GaryVee, who's like, I don't know what his like net worth is right now, probably. I don't know, I'm guessing like probably 50 million. I don't fucking know. He's rich. But this guy, this same guy worth 50 million will go to a fucking tag sale and haggle the fuck out of somebody's grandmother for like, he's like, oh, she's asking $20 for this. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to get it for 10. Like, and he'll do it. And it's like, you know what? Like, I get why you're doing it. I'm
just going to fuck her whole world up again.
Right. I get why you're doing it, but you're still kind of an asshole for doing it. Like, you know, I don't know. That's just me. But I get he's proving the point. You know what I mean? And more power to him. And nothing against GaryVee. I love his content. Smart guy.
Yeah. Respect
the hell out of him. But like when I see him do shit like that, I'm just like shaking my head a little bit. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Just give her the $20 for the fucking tricycle. Call it a fucking day. You know what I mean?
But it's like fucking American Pickers or Pawn Stars.
Right.
I get that same kind of dissatisfaction where I'm like, you motherfuckers, like you bring over a second guy to tag team up. Let me call an expert in, like, you know, all this stuff. You make these people sweat. Like,
well, listen, I think Pawn Stars is different because like people actively go into a pawn shop and they're desperate to sell something. Like, you went to this tag sale. Like, nobody made you go there and haggle with that 80-year-old lady. You just wanted to do it to make some content and prove that you could get a deal. Like, and sure, like, would I do the same thing at a tag sale? Yeah. But I also don't have my own company worth $50 million, or well, I don't know how much he's worth. I keep throwing that number out there. But I digress because, like I said, I do like a lot of the content Gary puts out, and you know, he's very animated. He's easy to watch, and like, he's authentic. You can tell he's an authentic person, and that's why I think a lot of people like watching his shit. Yeah, you know,
unfiltered, authentic.
Unfiltered. Yep, off the top of the head.
Shout out Gary V.
Yeah, shout out. Come on the podcast, bro.
But
smoke some weed, drink some coffee.
I only need 9 to 12 minutes of your time. You don't even need to be on here the whole time. Let's bring in the review for this White Fire OG from Theory.
It's good. Well, you guys will see in the thumbnail or Instagram post. We took some pictures. We had a nice little trophy nug of it. It was very very orangey, green, very like light green and dark orange kind of bud. Very fluffy. And tastes good. Not super strong. I think this one was like flying in around 18%, which is honestly, I mean, we've talked about it before. It's like, at least for me, that's like right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
like
that's my Goldilocks zone too.
18 to 20. That's like, you know, I think I was a couple of weeks ago, I smoked something that was like 27, 28%. And like it's just, I get so fucking high and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like fucking crippled after. So I don't know. Like, yeah, but this is, this nice subtle high. It's not like I'm not fucking blasted, but I did roll up too.
It's got a real like light. It's a light earthy taste. You know, most earthy tastes are like real like
harsher.
Or like garlicky. Yeah, this is actually like a lighter.
It complements the coffee really good. I'm getting the coconut on my exhale, like the
That's
marijuana.
Sick. Yeah.
And like it makes the weed taste so much better. Like I don't think the weed would taste as good if I wasn't drinking this cup of coffee.
You know what? I think you're right about that because I was just about to say like the weed is kind of like the way it sits in the mouth, the smoke. It's kind of like when we tried the Lime Fire Skunk. But now that Lime Fire Skunk was very flavorful in terms of the lime cilantro.
Yes.
It's still
the coffee. The flavors coming from the coffee.
Flavors
more
coming from the coffee. I do get the light earthiness of the bud. But then that extra little like flavor at the end, it's very nice with the coffee. Yeah, it's a good
pairing. I'm quite jubilant about it. It's definitely nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
On the exhale, hell yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the back end, it's like you're smoking a coconut bong, like a coconut bong.
Yeah. No, that's a
Shit.
fucking great combo.
It is.
Harmony Bay Coconut Cream and White Fire OG. Start your morning with that, folks, and let me tell you, you will not regret it. Yeah, you will enjoy. You start off your day right.
You will regret it. Shoot.
What was that?
That was a Bob Weir, trying to sound like Bob Weir.
Oh, okay.
He always kind of like shouts random shit like, turn on your love light. You won't regret it. You know, like, go out and vote. Remember, register to vote. And always be kind to your mother. But, yeah, I don't know. That's a terrible Bob Weir impression.
No, I like it. I just wanted to make sure I understood the reference.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were trying to start a thing. Like.
No. That's just no. That's actually that is me doing an impression of one of the Shanties, Mike Bodman, doing an impression of Bob Weir. Because so that's something like we like to do when we.
Oh, it's an Inception impression.
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh yeah. You know, speaking of Shanty, man, we got to get them on the show.
Yeah, we plan to. I think last episode we told you guys we were going to have them on, and we spent New Year's Eve with them. We watched the Fish Show and we streamed it. It was fun, but we just couldn't make it work at this time. But and I know we talked about their show that was supposed to happen on January 8th that ended up getting postponed. So if you thought that you were upset you missed it, that's actually going to be on February 5th instead. It's rescheduled, and so if you guys in the Northampton area, February 5th, check it out. Yeah man. So you got this from Theory? Yeah, Theory.
So I mean, just a quick kind of review of just places we've been to pick up, some of the dispensaries.
You want me to rank them?
Well, I mean, I'm just like, because I've kind of hopped into a few other ones. I know we get it from Theory a lot. I've been really impressed with Liberty lately.
Liberty.
Liberty Cannabis. I don't know if you've been to any of their facilities.
I've been on. That's where we got the Lime Fire skunk.
Yes.
If you don't, if from
Yes. It was from Liberty.
the Garcia handpick. They're like the only place around here that sells it. But so I went, and I remember I was upset because I went there and it was a recreational only. So it was a recreational.
The place that you had gone to?
The one in Springfield. The Liberty in
okay.
Springfield doesn't do
They
medical.
won't honor your
no,
medical.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't really like when places do that. If you're selling, why? If a place can sell recreationally, why wouldn't they be able to sell medically? Like it was legal medically before any. Like you know what I mean? I know it's different. Probably they got to sign up for a different license. I'm sure. So maybe some places just don't want to spend the money or couldn't get the license for it. But I know the one in East Hampton.
Yeah, they have medical at East Hampton.
Yeah, in East Hampton.
Yeah.
So I do know. So that's why I'm like not too critical on Liberty. I haven't gone there enough to like really formulate an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've checked out Liberty, and I've actually been impressed with the one in East Hampton. They actually have really good pricing, really good deals on carts.
I've been noticing this a lot. Is like it's turning into how the West Coast is like the competitive. Like there's so many now, and it's so competitive. Like they're all kind of coming out with really good deals.
If you don't have a 10 recreationally, if you do not have a $10 1 gram joint, 1 gram pre-rolled on your menu, you're fucking lacking. Every place needs to have before it was like every pre-roll was fucking $20, after tax.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, like to get and now you see a ton of deals on different kinds. Like Liberty I got, what was it called?
Was it
Chocolate Nightmare? 1 gram. It's a 19%er. 1 gram pre-rolled, $10.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good. Actually,
yeah, They were doing sour diesel 1 gram pre-rolls at Liberty a couple weeks ago, two for 20. So it's like that's the type of stuff. Like now we are seeing that it is right. The prices are going down.
Absolutely, the bulk pricings are going down.
Everybody's trying to be more competitive. Yep. And we're benefiting from it, which is nice.
No, and that's hey, that's a great thing about capitalism, right? As you know, it's the free market. A true free market will work itself out. People will, they'll either have to compete, adjust, or start a new line of work. But yeah.
Word, man. Speaking of capitalism, I actually recently started my own business.
Saw that.
Yeah,
I was very happy for you when I saw that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's
a good line of work to get in. For those of you who don't know, you're doing
it's called
rubbish removal, right? And estate cleanups, right?
Well, I'm trying to really kind of focus on furniture removal,
right? Okay,
and estate clean out,
like estate cleanups, okay.
Less so rubbish and stuff like that. I kind of So for those of you who don't know or want to know, I started my own business. It's called Reno's Removal, and I basically will specialize in old furniture removal and estate cleanouts when someone's trying to sell their house, yada, 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 stuff like that. And, various small moves for elderly people who can't, move stuff around their house. And, that's what I'm going to focus on now. For me, it's like my side hustle. And it kind of...
Now, is this something like... Can you see yourself like building something off this? And like, was that your goal to kind of like just work for yourself eventually? Like when you have the clientele, and then or is this something...
I started thinking about it the last time I asked my boss for a raise.
What did he say when you asked him?
He said yes eventually.
Yes, eventually.
But I was made to sweat it out in a really uncomfortable way. And then I had decided, and I had not figured out what I was going to do or how I was going to figure it out.
Right.
But after that whole situation, it lasted over, it was like a negotiation that was over like 3 months.
Right. So he was kind of hoping you'd kind of like drop it probably, like forget about it.
I don't know really what it was, to be honest. But to me, I had decided, you know what? Like, I'm never going to let myself be that uncomfortable ever again.
Right. So
I have to figure out a way. Like, I'm not going to rely on this rich man that I'm making more rich to give me more money.
Right.
Because he doesn't have to, And so, like, to me, I was like, I can fucking figure it out for myself. So I saw an opportunity.
Yeah.
And now I also work at and help and basically do a bunch of back office stuff for a furniture company. that sells furniture retail.
Right.
And they don't do removals. They don't do stuff like that.
So you have a window at least somewhere,
Yeah,
and you can kind of.
I saw people coming in and they're asking like, can you guys get rid of our old stuff for us? Constant question.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of business then because
Yeah.
you'll have them coming to you pretty much.
Exactly, and that's what
I
saw the opportunity.
You're a smart motherfucker,
and it was worth investing in. And so I'm going to tow hitch a trailer. And it's a low startup cost.
Yeah,
because the tow hitch and the trailer, in all honesty, that's $1,000. Okay, the return on investment.
Oh, it's huge.
I have to do maybe a week of removals, and I have paid for that investment.
Right.
So to me, it's like that's why I started it.
Yeah.
And it's because I saw an opportunity, and I bring up this story a little bit just because I want anybody out there who is kind of fed up with the reliance on somebody else to evaluate your worth and say yes, you are worth that, and then pay you appropriately.
Yeah, the fact that you have to ask too, it's like,
and anybody who can relate to that uncomfortable feeling, like there's opportunities that are out there, and all you have to do is seek them out, and it won't always be the first thing, it could be the next thing, but you just have to keep looking. You have to seek out these opportunities because my mom always told me, she says, God seeks the seeker, and God, for anybody it could be just a higher meaning or a higher purpose. So if you are seeking your higher purpose, it will seek you. And that's what I know that maybe gets a little deep
I love
the
it.
thing, but
I'm into it.
But that's the idea of why you must always keep trying, and so for me, starting this business is kind of a point of, okay, slowly but surely, I want to get to a point where I quit my job.
Yeah, dude.
And then because I don't want to ever have to tell my son one day, I can't make it to your game because this rich man said I have to be here.
Honestly, now that you said that, that's always been my big, because like I'm working in like corporate companies and like and it's you're right. I think about when eventually, if I have children, and like I want to be able to like coach their soccer team, or like at least go to the games, like you said, and like not feel like I'm fucking doing something wrong because I want to go to see my son play soccer and my daughter play soccer. I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that now. But I'm thinking in the same mindset as you, where like I'm getting to that point in my life where I'm sort of looking outward to find other things to like I'm hedging my bets, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to, not that I've ever felt like really uncomfortable in my workplace or have been in like, a situation that you were talking about with your boss, but at the same time, I do have those thoughts where like as much as, and I probably don't have the instance you had with your boss, because I'm not that confrontational all the time, and like I probably don't have even though I think I should be paid more money, I don't even have the balls to go ask for a raise. You know what I mean? Even though I probably should.
Right. But like, even if you went to ask for a raise, like that's not even like all you're worth. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly.
And
I think you're right. It's
you're like
he's
worth
never,
more than whatever
right.
raise you would even get.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. And that's like, and I'm the type of person is like, money is great too. Like at the end of the day though, like if it's not even about the money though, as much as it's about like feeling like you're trapped. And like you're almost like, and I don't want to say like, I'm not going to say you're like a slave, because like I can walk away and quit at any time, like I know that. But when you have like economic uncertainties, you're less likely to make those jumps and to like do things, I feel like, because you need that sense of security and that sense of,
it's a natural thing for people to trade freedom for security,
right? At least a little bit. But that's the thing is like I said, I'm getting to that age where I'm kind of like looking outward as well. And that's why I respect the fuck out of you for just manning up and starting your own shit. And honestly, I think you're going to be nothing but successful. Like if I know you at all, you're going to fucking rock it. But like,
Thanks,
it's inspiring. Like, cause I've been thinking along those same lines too about like what I want to do. And, it's good. I need to see.
Well, yeah, just the thought being in the mindset of, what do I want to do?
Right.
Like how often do we ask ourselves that? Like,
I don't know. it's just it's a good thing, yo. I'm stoked for you, man.
I just it's just at a point in my life where now I feel like I have the maturity to even do something like this too. Like, I'm nervous.
Yeah, there's probably a little anxiety, you know, not even
yeah.
like it's like not even like a scared, but you're probably a little anxious to see what comes of it and
Yeah.
see.
Well, mentally, right? like my mental health has been very, very good in the last year, and it's just the idea that a lot of times I've always felt like when I get close to success, I self-sabotage because I don't think I deserve success. And I don't know where that's rooted in or where that comes from. Maybe it's because I've been stuck in the rat race and there's some type of psychological lock. But I so want to break that barrier, like, through this vessel that is this business.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much deeper, you know, in a weird way. And if it wasn't successful, you know, it's like, it's not the end of the world. I can find something else because I understand what it means to be inspired now, and that I can find inspiration elsewhere. But it's weird. It's like it's more representative of where I'm headed. You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, no, like I'm on board, man. It's just the self-sabotage. I feel like I can relate to, like, at least because I feel like there's been points in my life where, like, I feel like I was doing like really good, like especially for like my age, and then I always felt like I would have a setback, whether it was like a fault of my own or forces out of my control. But I feel like your brain doesn't know the difference. You know what I mean? So even if like you've taken a setback at some point, you know, and you might see it as self-sabotage, like your brain, I feel like just doesn't know the difference between something that you actually self-sabotage or something that was like a force of nature out of your control, but you can't see, so you just assume that it must have been you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Is that too deep, or am I just like...
No, I got you. It's like you blame yourself regardless of the extenuating circumstances.
Right. So even if like, and I feel like that's, and that's why I relate to it, because I feel like without even realizing it, like I've probably been times where like I've self-sabotaged myself, because like I feel like my life has been, like, honestly, like, it's going to sound cliche as fuck, but it's been a roller coaster. It's a lot of ups and like but the thing is, you know, and I look back at it, is I've never, as high as the highs are and when the lows get low, they never get lower. You know what I'm saying? Like the low before wasn't as bad as the low now.
Right.
But it seems that way too, because like the highs get higher too. If that makes sense. But it's all like
smoking this joint, I understand what you mean when you say the highs get higher.
Right.
Yes. I want to ask you a question though, because we were talking about like things that like we want to do, like,
yeah,
or things that we prefer to do, and like I know that I want to shine a little light on you've been doing your artwork, and you've been like investing yourself in some of the the more artistic side of Mr. Thompson here. You know.
Sure, man. I mean, it's been awesome. I've always liked drawing and like art in all mediums. You know what I mean? But specifically, I've always liked, you know, like pen and graphite and drawing and like, you know,
like pen to paper.
Yeah, like that's what I liked, and no colors. Like I used to just only do that, and like, you know, just as a kid. And like my mom's really artistic. She's a much better artist than me. And she used to be an art teacher.
Oh, wow.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So she always, you know, that's how kind of like, you know, when I was younger, I got into drawing and artwork. And like, I regretted not taking any of the art classes in high school. And like, honestly, the only reason I didn't is because I was also a jock. And like, maybe I was a little self-conscious of like what people would think about me if I was just like kind of like an artsy fartsy.
Yeah, you were like Troy from High School Musical.
Yeah.
You're in the play. You're singing in the musical.
Like, so that's why I didn't like do stuff like that, I don't think. But I'm like, I love art. So like I have a big art collection too. Like I collect art prints and stuff. Like I have a portfolio full of other artists' work at my house, you know, like
that's cool.
So I mean, lately, and then I'm just kind of, you know, been really liking my drawing lately, and just it's been like an outlet for me. But eventually, like, I really want to get into printmaking and like making my own prints, and like that would be something I'd like to do maybe as a side hustle to start, is like open up a print studio and like maybe work with like other local artists, and they can like showcase their work there, and like we can like, it could be like a collaborative thing, like, you know, we can print our own stuff and like, or just kind of like, you know, take like have a creative center of like.
See, that's where it starts, bro. Like, because you're becoming passionate about something, and and the more energy you put into it and you feed it, the bigger it grows.
Right.
You know, so like you're watering this idea of the creative side of you and the artist side of you, and you're even like thinking ahead of how to like share it and give it to other people, which is a super. I think that says a lot about like you and your character.
This is the and this is the thing too, is, and as much as I appreciate art and like, you know, I like don't see myself as like a good artist, and there's so many other good artists around here, locally and not locally, and just like I follow so many like art pages, and like artists are just doing incredible things, and it's like I look at myself and it's like, yeah, I wasn't like doing it in school. Like I took art in college too. Like I did find a little love for it back, you know, when I first graduated high school, and like I needed to take electives in college. I was like, I like drawing. I'm gonna just do some art classes.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for my electives in college. And then like I really honestly haven't drawn a lot since then, until probably about maybe like 3 months ago. But now I know I'm getting into digital art. Now I'm fucking around.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
So I've been doing, like, I've kind of taken a break from drawing on pen, paper, and just focusing on, because that's where you can really do some incredible things in like digital art. And I know a lot of people might say it's not may not be real art, and you know, it's up for debate. But it's still a skill that I'd like to learn, and like learn how to work those art programs and stuff like that, because I think it can only enhance my art. Real
quick for the people that would make that argument, I mean, think about this. Some of the greatest, I would say, musicians are beat makers.
No, I'm not saying
who don't play, play the instruments.
And I don't agree with it. That's why
it's
I'm
like
saying
the comparison
there is,
of like an actual raw instrument to like digital.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Like they can both be great.
I think, and I agree with you, and I think, and that's a great comparison, because I think they're treated exactly the same by like somebody in like a music symphony orchestra is gonna look down on somebody that is sitting behind their Pro Tools making beats.
Yeah.
Being
a digital composer.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I'm sure there's concert composers out there that respect what they do, but I think I was speaking in a general term, because I don't agree with it, because like obviously I'm learning it. Yeah. I'm sitting there.
But like you're saying, I'm just defending your point. Like it is a skill. Yeah.
Yeah. So but for whatever reason, I still think, I'm still early learning in the digital world. There's so much, it's fucking ridiculous, but I still think there's something different about putting an actual pencil to paper versus like an Apple Pencil to an iPad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm still learning. It's been fun. I've been trying to.
Do you do it almost every day?
I try to. It's tough. I wish I could dedicate more time to it, and obviously that would be the goal. Like I wish I could work at my job for 2 hours and then come home and work for 9 hours on different art and whatever I wanted to do. But I've been trying to do a lot of art for like local bands and stuff, and because that's where I like to get inspiration from, like music, So if I'm like drawing or doing something, I'm usually like listening to music, or vibing. And like a lot of I collect a lot of concert posters and gig artwork from like other artists, so it's like something I've always kind of been into too.
Yeah.
So that's where I find a lot of inspiration, is like thinking of like artwork for like my friends' bands and stuff like that, or like for whatever. And it's I don't know, it's just something I like. But
oh yeah,
that's hopefully one day I can spend more time on it. And like I said, like I'd really like to get into printmaking, but also I was also, when I'm flirting with my iPad and making digital art, I was like, I would love to make my own line of like NFTs. You know what I mean?
NFTs.
Like that's what I would like, because that's like that's a buzzword right now. That's a buzzword right now.
Bing, 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 bing.
NFTs.
Bing bong.
Shit. And here's the thing. I know and here's the thing is, and you're gonna call me one of those old people resistant to change, because I know how important NFTs are gonna be, but like here's the reason why like I'm not hardcore investing in NFTs right now, is because like at the end of the day, like the money I would spend on like an NFT, like I could buy like some nice physical art in the real world, frame it, hang it in my room, and enjoy it for like the rest of my life, no matter what. Or like it's like the same, like people are it's they're buying land in the metaverse, right? It's just like I'm not gonna spend money on that. Like I'm gonna buy land in real life.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? Like, and I'm not hating on people that do it. I get it. It's a commodity. It's a thing.
Wait, are we talking NFTs right now?
We can talk NFTs.
Okay.
You know much more about it than I do, so maybe I can even be educated, because like it's not that I'm resistant to change. And my brother-in-law, shout out my brother-in-law, he's been talking about NFTs for like he was on NFTs like 2 years ago. He was I remember him like glazing over it at like Thanksgiving one day. Like he was like, "Oh, dude, NFTs are gonna be like blah 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 blah." And like fast forward 2 years, and like it's fucking everybody's on it. So like. Shout out to him, and like he kind of like explained it to me before.
This could be the year
of the NFT
of like it really could be because it's like becoming culturally
right.
It's becoming a different form of expression with the art. Like people are really proud, like kind of like you are to have. Like they're proud to actually like own these, even though you could screenshot it, right?
Right.
People just have this sense of being like, okay, well, I own this on the blockchain, and it's provable. Right. Because it's on the blockchain.
No, it's your certificate of authenticity.
Yeah. Now,
like
I'm not going to get too deep into NFTs, but as far as non-fungible tokens go, this is how I see it. Because I have honestly been a degenerate this last like week and a half.
But you've been making money on it.
I've been flipping NFTs. Okay. Honestly, guys, this like I would never give any of you financial advice, and I hope you guys would never take any from me. Personally, I've actually been flipping NFTs for the last week, and I am up. And I am up considerably, and
I believe it.
And I don't need to share it, but like I'm up,
Well, so here's what I'm gonna ask you about it, because this is like what my problem I think is like I feel like if I bought NFTs, like I would just collect them. Like, see, I'm like I can't. That's like I would think of it as that's how like I am. Like I have, and I always say this to my wife, and she's gonna laugh if she listens to this, because like. Every time I buy a new art print, like I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna like sell one of my other ones, or like this one I have this one I paid $100 for. It's like worth $500 now, and like I can't get it. Like there's like art appreciates just like how NFTs do. Like you know what I mean? Certain artists you buy like. That's why I have like this like huge collection, and I always tell her I'm gonna like sell, like spend more money on a print. I'm gonna sell one. My fucking shit is just getting fuller and fuller. And, like, I feel like
you're a bag holder, bro. You just hold the bag,
That's
dude.
it.
Yeah.
So, like, say what you will. I just feel like, if I have $100, if I have $100, $200 to spend on an NFT, like, I'm just going to, like, wait for, like, an artist I like to drop something, and I'm going to buy it. You know what I mean? So, but if I knew more about it, but that's the thing is like I would equate it to almost like are you spending a lot of time on it? Is like day trading?
So in a sense, I've probably spent an average of 3 hours a day.
Do they ever? So do you ever see the NFTs go down in value?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I see them go down in value.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. A lot of them are probably worthless. They also have these things called rug pulls, which are basically kind of like fake projects. So there's a lot of scams out there.
Oh, so people just hoping you invest all because the artists, they get a percentage of the sales when they pass through on the block, right?
And that's like secondary sales too. Anytime it ever sells.
Right. Anytime it ever sells, they get a percentage. So like that's one thing I do like about.
It's a dangerous space.
It is. Well, that's what I like about it is like the artists who are genuine are gonna get the money they deserve. Because like I just think like. Well, and that's what I always look at is like I'm not like as somebody who's been making art is like I'll never do it for money. Like it's cool if I could like make my art can make money like, but like that's not why
you wouldn't do it for the money.
That's you know what I mean. That's not like my main reason of doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean. If sure it's great like if you can as an artist like if you can make a living off of your art like that's the goal always. Yeah. But I don't think that should ever be like your reason somebody stops is like, oh, I'm not making enough, my art's not making enough money, it's not selling, I'm just gonna like stop.
Word. Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, the thing about NFTs is like it does pay artists, but so think about this: you have those prints, right?
Right.
And you can have them stay there, appreciate. They are more difficult, I would say, to move if you're trying to sell, like because you have to find a buyer. When you're on the blockchain, when you're on digitally,
they
it's
find
like,
you.
Yeah, it's much easier to list and find and see all those things.
Well, and you're absolutely right. That is the difference because like if you're gonna,
but there's two types of people.
Right.
You know, like you, I would consider you a bag holder because you just accumulate and you hold the bag, and eventually will sell probably the bag, or you'll keep it. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's kind of like I feel like I'm a hoarder when it comes to like shit like that, like collectibles. Like I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I don't have like massive collections of like. There's just like certain things that I like that I would collect, and like art has always been one of them.
Yeah. With NFTs, it's a little different too because I would say this like.
What about land in the metaverse? You got land in the metaverse?
Not yet.
I don't mean to switch topics on you, but
no,
I did mention it before.
I do not yet. I am in on some metaverse gaming plays, but
like stock.
Well, games that are being built in the metaverse. Those are NFTs. So let me explain this. Like this is how I see NFTs, right? So like, let's say there's an NFT called Ian's hats, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say there's 100 of them, right? So, and they're all different colors, all different styles, and there's only 100. So everybody that's a fan of Ian or anybody who thinks that Ian's business endeavor is going to be successful or they want to support it, they'll buy one of these Ian's hats NFTs and become a holder. Now, with that, you get the art, whatever the art is.
Right.
And then you also generally will get some benefits for holding it. Like, let's say you could say, okay, if
access to that Pharrell chat, right?
Yes.
Like that's like what was that? What was that NFT project where they all?
That's the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Bored Ape Yacht Club, yo. Yeah. I know like 2 or 3 people that I'm friends with on Facebook bought Bored Apes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's a really good. Well, that's the thing. You have access to these mines, but also like for example, so if I bought an Ian's hats NFT, like you could do things like, yeah, I will
draw you a custom print.
Exactly. I'll draw you a or like you can have lunch. You can have lunch with me. Like it's just like like stuff like literal. So you're kind of in like this club. Like if NFL, right? If the NFL had NFTs, let's say you owned one of your team's NFL NFTs. That
you had like the fucking Derek Carr NFT. Well, so now you get to like go to like one fucking off-season training with Derek Carr or something,
right.
like because you bought his NFT.
Like or like even more practical, like now you get 25% off at all NFL shops, like so they're attaching these things to the NFTs, so that it's not just the art. So there's actually value being built. Like one of mine that I recently won on and am winning on, and that might be a blue chip Solana NFT is called Solana Money Boys.
Money Boys.
The art is dope. It's like Doug from the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like Doug Funny, but in like raver fluorescent colors.
Okay. Really
sick. And what they're building is an NFT dashboard to basically track the pricing of NFTs and collections and trends.
It's kind
just like stocks.
Just like a stock.
Yeah, just like stock charts, And but for example, like by having that, I get that dashboard for free. Now, it's offered to the public for like $24 a month.
Right.
But I get it for free because I have a Money Boy. And so, like, but stuff like that, like, once the space grows and the utility of these tools and, like, these certain things, like, that are practical start to be adopted, that's when I feel like NFTs, like people will just naturally gravitate towards them because it's like easier than having like this membership card in your wallet.
No, don't get me wrong. I think they're inevitable. Like I'm not fighting it. Like at some point in my life, I will own an NFT. It's inevitable. I understand that. But at this time in my life, that's why I just feel like I'm like, I could invest in NFTs, but then I probably won't be buying other art. Or like doing like, you know what I mean? Like I'd have to like pick and choose between something else.
Yeah. Well,
because like I said, I'm probably gonna be fucking holding the bag. I'm probably not gonna probably gonna buy one and be like, oh, this is cool, and I'm gonna fucking keep it.
Flipping's a little bit different. Like you were saying, the emotional attachment. If you're trying to make money, dude, you got to have no fucking emotion to any of these NFTs, because the money boy. The only reason I still have the money boy and I'm making out like on the profit, I'm still holding it. It's rising in price, but like is because I have an emotional attachment. I was thinking about selling it like 2 days ago when it was half the price that it is now.
Right.
And
you're glad you did.
Yeah, and I did it
now.
because I was like, oh, I like it, you know. so I get that, but like, there's other ones that I'm just like, nah, like I don't owe these people fucking anything. Like, sell it, make my money, like shit like that. And so you gotta have no emotion when you're flipping NFTs. But it's a degenerate thing. Right now, it's like degenerate gambling, and I really should slow down. But I've just been fucking making.
Hey, if you're winning,
money,
yeah. Listen, you don't walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I guess so. I guess I'll let her ride, boys. Let her ride.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, rock on.
Well, like it's also too like
especially if especially if your investments aren't like super substantial and like you're just fucking killing it.
Yeah, it's not.
Fucking
it hasn't been too crazy.
Dude,
like,
I still have fucking Dogecoin, bro. I still got like I'll say this. I'm not like super. I do have crypto. I'm not like, you know, and the main reason I get crypto is because like, you know, I like to be diverse. I'm like diversifying my portfolio with like cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So like I've never like sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've never like sold like a Bitcoin. I mean,
well, that's like,
or, you know what I mean? I've never sold any of my crypto.
You're doing and I'm like investments.
And that's the thing is like, you know, and I understand like it's like, with the way the American dollar is and inflation and XYZ, like Bitcoin, there's no reason why Bitcoin or Ethereum or one of those is going to be like a viable currency within the next fucking 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So like, you know.
Oh, it's something that I think really the crypto space can't really be ignored at this point.
No, yeah.
The NFT space kind of thrives off the crypto space, and
well, I think, it's piggybacking off of crypto because, like, a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, like, a lot of the NFTs are, like, exclusively traded through crypto, right? If, like, I want to buy one, like, I probably got to buy, like, some Solana or some Ethereum or fucking Bitcoin or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. It's all run through, like, that stuff. But I'm more, like the technical side of it is really what keeps people from exploring it, because the practical side is more like this, like you had said about your art, right? Like you'd love to have a place where other artists could come, like a physical place, you know, and come and hang out and like display their art, and like you would want to create a space for people like that. By creating Ian's Hats NFTs, that could be what your project is about. And you could get people to actually like buy into the NFTs and fund that, and like, you know what I mean? Like you would have to come up with like some kind of plan to reward your holders, you know, prior. But like that is an actual NFT project that you could create.
Yeah. And shit, don't give me ideas.
No, I'm serious though. Like, and that's the power that they hold. Now they require,
if people take, now I get what you're saying though, because like, as somebody like,
it sounds like a GoFundMe, but there has to be like mutual exchange.
I feel like, and if you take NFTs like just at face value, you're like, this is stupid Pokemon trading, like whatever. Like Pokemon cards, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's obviously not what it is. Like when you, like you said, you dive deeper into like the projects behind it, the perks behind it.
That's also the skill of NFTs and flipping and just finding real projects, because there's a lot of fake projects. So like you really have to do a lot of research, and you really have to like check out who the developers are. Like I check their LinkedIns. Like I do shit like that, because you want to see what projects are really trying to do shit. Like I just made a play today where it's called Message Party. And basically it's going to be a message app that you can incorporate your NFTs that you own into your chats. So it's wild. But it's a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
I believe in that idea, so I invested in it. And that's like, and I know that it's a legitimate project. So that's the type of thing. It's like you're kind of investing in startups a lot of the time.
No, and I like that idea. Like that's like, that made like having it spun in that way like makes me like NFTs more. You know what I mean? I appreciate that more because
there's a lot of scams.
I was just gonna say I don't like that it's predatory like that. Like you said, like that right there is gonna keep keep the grandmas and elderly people of the world fucking far away from it. Because
it's not really for them.
No, I know, but it's like
they're welcome.
But like what?
No,
absolutely. But it's not even grandmas. I mean, even like Gen Xers, like, you know what I mean? Like, even those kinds of people who are right now, they're investing for their retirements, and they're like, are they going to be spending money on NFTs when it could be a fucking Bernie Madoff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, so like, that's, I hope they come up with a better system of like vetting the projects. Yeah. Because like the casual person will never risk the money. Like you said, you had to like drive into their LinkedIn's, their Twitter accounts, their, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I had to
it's
do
like,
a lot of research to make sure, because it happened to me once.
Right, like, so you've already been burned, is what you're saying.
Like,
okay.
So
that's what I don't like about it.
You take some L's, but, sometimes you take more dubs than L's,
Yeah, no, and I mean, listen, dude, it happens, like, that shit happens, like, even in, like, the print groups I'm in, and, like, for real art, like, when we're in, like, these, like, Facebook groups or forums, like, they have, like, you have trading, you have transactions going on. People get fucking burned all the time because they're not doing it the safe way or the right way. They're not protecting themselves. So that's a little more on them, but it's still there's always going to be somebody trying to fucking pull the fucking sheets over your face.
Yeah. Well, gaming is another thing that like, imagine this, right? Call of Duty NFTs. So check it. Let's say you own one of these Call of Duty NFTs. You get
an unlocked gun or something.
Unlocked gun.
You get a crazy
in-game double XP. Like,
permanent.
How much of and think about if they made Call of Duty play to earn. So every time your team won, you got 1,000 Call of Duty coin. And then you could spend that Call of Duty coin at a marketplace that Call of Duty devs have set up, where you can get guns. So it just becomes like that NFT gives you such an advantage if you're playing competitively. It's just crazy, man. They're changing the space so much, and
that is crazy.
They call it Web3, so it's like they're trying to further the internet in a way that it.
So is Web2 like the start of like social medias, like? And it's like Web 1.0 is like the .com era, and like Web, I don't know what you mean by like Web 3. That's why I'm like asking.
Dude, I'm going to be fucking completely honest with you. I don't really know what I mean by Web 3.
That's what I'm assuming. It's like Web,
but it's like
the Web
metaverse. 3, I consider the metaverse Web 3.
It's like 3.0.
But it's how like we're just basically digitizing another section of our lives, you know, and that's finance, and that's our personal items, you know, like everything could be an NFT. Like it's
everything can be an NFT. Dude, did you watch the South Park, right?
Yeah.
Dude, hilarious.
Yeah. Hey fellas.
Would you like some NFTs?
Hey fellas, you want to? That's what I feel like, but I'm only like that right now because I'm like raging because I'm up, but like I should just get out and just like cut my losses. But like, you know, I find the space interesting. I really do. It's super interesting.
Dude, I'm gonna have to make my own NFT line now, though. That got me thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ian's hats, yo. Yeah. I'm making it, yo. Sure, Ian's hats, dude.
I'm
you really fucking
should.
Doing it. Yo.
You really should. Holy shit, dude.
Just
no,
Ian's
actually,
hats,
you really should start drawing hats, dude. Different hats. Just keep fucking doing
different characters in them,
or just even the hats. Like
just the hats.
Make the hats animated. Like have
yeah. Ian's hats,
dude.
Yo, I like that shit. It's gonna fund the C3 podcast.
Dude, yeah.
If you buy an Ian's hat NFT, you get to come on the podcast and smoke weed and drink coffee with us. How about that?
Dude, literally though.
Yeah, that's an NFT project. I'm gonna make it. Ian's hats, yo. You heard it here first. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give me a week. I'm gonna post. We'll post to the Instagram the first design for actually.
Anybody who knows anything about the blockchain and would like to help us develop Ian's hats NFTs.
I need help minting my NFTs. Yes. I'm going to design them. If you can mint my NFTs for me.
We want to do it on the Solana network. I feel like it's more accessible. So
yeah. But I'm newbie to it, but we're going to try it. Let's fucking dive right into it. Maybe I'm a little stoned and buzzed from the coffee, but Ian's hats is going to be a thing. Yeah. Put on by C3.
If any of you are still listening to our NFT chat, I feel like that's one of those things. Like people either like tune in or they tune out. Dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But, hopefully, somebody will fucking help us. But I don't know. If not, we'll fucking figure it out on our own, bitch.
Yeah.
But but seriously, we need help.
Yeah, I love you all.
Yeah,
well, anyway, fellas.
Yeah, fellas.
Hey, fellas.
Shit, I'm fucking stoned.
Me too. That was good. Good bud. Good coffee.
Yeah,
good conversation,
good
brother.
talking.
Yeah, so that was Harmony Bay Coffee Roasters.
White Fire OG.
Coconut cream.
Theory Wellness.
Nice.
Yeah.
And hey, join us next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball C3.